How's it going? This is Odd.
Hey, it's Red here.
And Mal.
And you're about to listen to our podcast. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Probably not the greatest for having your kids around.
Nope.
We are a 18-plus podcast, and we would appreciate if you would take that into consideration, as we honestly have horrible mouths. And obviously,
influences will ruin your life.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, by what our name is, we are the Ganja people.
And I was smoking during this intro.
Hey, I'm Odd.
I'm Red.
And I'm Mal.
And we are the Ganja people. Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
We decided that we was going to smoke a little bit of a bubbler tonight. A bunga.
We're feeling it. Feeling the need to get a little fucked up.
Well, we've been buying our weed. We have the Golden State Banana again. This is our I think we've bought an ounce overall.
Yeah, I'm over
of it.
I'm ready for a new strain.
Yeah, it's a good strain. It's just I think we've built up a bit of a tolerance to it. So tonight, in order to make sure that we get fucked up, we're gonna make sure we smoke a bong.
Yeah, man. And I put some keef on it.
And that bong is Sky.
Dude, and Sky kicks our ass every time.
Yeah, Sky's rough as fuck. It's got a double percolator in it. Last night we smoked out of Sky too, and I don't think I put quite enough water in it to fill the percolator.
The massivest bowl ever.
It is big bowl. It's the funny thing about it is it doesn't really have like a much of an outside edge like a lot of the bong bowls. It literally is just like a
big ass deep bowl.
In a 4-inch down stem that's attached to it. I've never seen a bowl attached to the down stem.
I haven't either, but it's annoying.
But it is.
I'd really like to find a down stem that fits in there and put it in there and then put a regular bowl in it. And
the problem with most down stems they're made in them. It's made like that.
I know, but you can buy them. Like, you can order them and buy them.
Right, I'm just saying, though. Like,
because I hate that. I'm always afraid we're going to break it.
I mean, I think we could probably put a regular bowl in there, but the problem with that is it just wouldn't be as good.
We've done it with a regular bowl, and it doesn't work for fuck, because there's no down stem to go into there.
Meh. That being said, for our green hit of the night, we're hitting Sky.
Yes, we are. Pardon my nose.
And he's even been a little keefy today. This is one of our pipes that we bought from New York City. We've probably smoked, maybe 8 bowls out of it is all.
Maybe. We haven't smoked a ton out of it because it takes so much weed to smoke it.
It is expensive to buy or to have packed, and it's really fucking harsh.
You gotta be in the fucking mood for that shit.
Well, you want to get high. You have to want to get high. That's for sure. Because first off, the bowl on this bitch is like a bowl and a half of anything else, almost.
Right?
Second is, it's so fucking harsh that
oh my god, last night we were dying.
Yeah. So I figure we could probably get through about a half episode with just smoking just Sky. Because we'll probably have to take 2 to 3 breaks in the middle of it, too.
Yeah, because there's not just a little keef in there. There's definitely a halfway decent amount of keef.
Yeah.
On the top of that.
All right, well, let's see, hey? Our green of the night off of Sky.
Should be able to hear it bubbling, probably.
We've been hardcore talking about Tinley lately.
Oh my god. I'm so excited.
Mal actually came into contact with one of Brian Barczyk's friends.
Dude, he's so cool. I've been talking to him for I think this is day 3 or something like that. Day 2? No, yeah, day 3. Been chit-chatting back and forth with him about snakes and lizards and all kinds of stuff. He's super cool. Be cool if I could get him to introduce us to Brian. Which, I'm working on it.
Right?
He's a cool dude, though. I enjoy chatting with him.
No. At least he's been in a few episodes of Brian's show.
Yeah, he was actually just in about a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yep. I was watching part of it today.
And he keeps venomous snakes, for sure.
He's got one of the prettiest Cobras I've ever seen.
I was going to say, I'm not sure what all he has, but he's definitely shown off his Cobra multiple times on there.
Brian's actually got one of his retics right now that he's borrowing. And his Cobra, her name is Taco, and she's got the brightest orangish yellow face and, hood. It is so pretty because she's really dark. So it contrasts off her so well.
And what kind of cobra was she? A king? Is that what you said?
Yeah, she's not a Malaysian king cobra. I think she's an Indonesian king cobra. So they don't get quite as big, but they're usually darker. She's about 2 years old right now, and she's 7 feet already. He said she eats like a monster.
You said she was on a snake diet, right?
Yeah, he feeds her snake.
Now, when they first start out, I can't imagine they would be able to be on a snake diet from the start, would they?
Yeah.
Because, like, they're so tiny.
Well, I don't know.
I imagine you'd have to at least get, like, probably 2.5 feet on before you start feeding them snakes.
I don't know,
feel
because
like
sometimes it's really hard to get kings onto rodents. So, like, I know I've heard people will start them on little lizards, like little anoles, because they really like lizards, too. They are more specialized to eat other reptiles than they are rodents.
I think the percolator has too much water in it, maybe.
If you feed a king cobra rodents its entire life, it's going to be healthy. Like, there's going to be nothing wrong with that animal. But it is not going to be as big, and it is not going to be as... It will not reach its full potential, if that makes sense.
Of size.
Yes, because they have the ability to reach so much higher. They need the snake diet.
I gotcha.
A lot of people get the snakes for it. They'll have friends that are breeders, and when they have something that passes away from natural causes or it's stillborn or something, they'll get them from them. He's got friends that gives him snakes. People get them from Florida, the berms that they euthanize down there. They'll feed them off those.
I knew that, because that's usually what Chandler does, right? Like a lot of the times.
Yeah, he feeds his kids.
If he actually films him feeding, it's usually a snake that he feeds.
Usually his kings eat snakes. His buddy works with those people. He's like part of the game and wildlife, whatever it is. It has to deal with that. And his buddy sets him up with them all the time. So that he has them for his 2 kings.
Right. I don't know. I would absolutely love to have a really gnarly looking cobra, but at the same time, like, I don't want to risk lives.
I know. Anyways, I wouldn't even want a king cobra. I would want a forest cobra.
I wouldn't directly want a king. If I could pick, I would have 3 options.
Okay, let's hear them.
Black, Egyptian cobra.
They're mean!
But they're so fucking cool looking.
They're stunning, but they are one of the most aggressive.
I do believe they spit too, though. That's the only other thing about them that I don't like.
No, I don't think they spit.
I was thinking I saw something that they spit.
Hey, Google.
Oh man, it's Google time.
We're going to find out. Does the black Egyptian cobra spit venom?
According to Wikipedia, unlike some other African cobras, this species does not spit venom.
Okay,
so they do not.
Okay, maybe I just saw that they were lumped in with African cobras that do spit.
Yeah, a lot of African cobras spit. Like the red spitting cobra is a big one. He's a fucker.
We've seen actually a red spitting cobra at Erie, actually.
Yes,
they had one in Erie one time.
They were beautiful.
They are super dope looking.
I love forest cobras, though. Like they're...
Anyway, so if I had the choice, I would go with either Egyptian black cobra or a monocle or a spectacle. Just because they're really fucking dope looking, and they don't get nearly as big as like a king cobra or anything like that.
Well, see, my thing with the forest cobras, I love their face markings. They're really dark, and they have like white faces, and a white hood, and sometimes they have black teardrops that come off of it, and they're just, I find them to be absolutely stunning. And they happen to be incredibly feisty.
The only forest cobra I've ever seen was pure white. It was a Leucistic one, so like...
You can't see the... Here,
you couldn't tell anything by it.
One. Hold on. Show me pictures of forest cobras.
Which, by the way, they wanted a hefty price for that Leucistic.
That's a forest cobra.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's cool looking.
They're beautiful.
I like the bands that it has on it, too.
Yeah. Like, they're amazing, and they're my favorite. Out of all the cobras, they're my favorite.
It's still going, so I was like, fuck it. Yeah, you got a good hit. If I had my choice in any venomous snake, though, that was like something that we're not going to have, it would definitely have to be a blue Encelaris.
Oh, God.
They are so fucking cool looking. That or else an eyelash viper, because both of them you have a very good chance of still living if you get bit.
Yeah, You and
But they are so cool looking. I already know what yours would be, okay? You don't even have to say it.
Oh, I'd have either a gaboon viper or I'd have a black mamba, one of the two. You ever seen a mamba?
I don't know about a black. I love the green mambas, and
I love the color of the black mamba.
with it being so mildly gray.
Yeah, and then they have a black eyes and black mouth, and they just look terrifying. And they have this beauty to them it's a scary pretty. And I love them. And they get massive.
They are very pretty snakes, but they are very big.
And they're incredibly aggressive.
And very
incredibly
dangerous.
Defensive, not aggressive. They're
And very,
defensive.
very dangerous.
Yeah, not something we could ever have.
That's one of those things that if you get bit by a black mamba and you don't have any sort of anti-venom fast enough, you will die.
Absolutely.
See, how Mal looks at things is her favorite animals are the most dangerous or the biggest.
It's not even... It just happens to be a coincidence, though.
That's just how it is. Gaboons are one of the most dangerous snakes there is when it comes to venom.
Yeah.
Because its venom is a neurotoxin that goes directly to your heart and will kill you in less than a half hour. It is guaranteed.
It's not a neurotoxin, it's a cardiotoxin.
Cardiotoxin.
Cardiotoxins target the heart. Neurotoxins target your nerves and your nervous system, and...
It's also a neurotoxin, too, though.
It could be.
It is.
Ones that's
I remember seeing a thing on it.
Hang on, there's neurotoxin and necrotic.
Necrotic.
That just eats the area.
Yeah, eats shit. Which, I mean, if you're going to get bit by any of them, a necrotic is the best one to get bit by.
AKA a rattlesnake.
Because the only thing you really have to worry about is the skin that's right next to it, or if it gets into your bloodstream, really badly. You
better get treated quick, because it travels through your bloodstream. The further in it goes, the more it eats.
Necrotic is one of those things they tell you to tie it off.
Yep.
If it's not necrotic, it's not actually any beneficial to you to actually tie off something. If it's not necrotic.
Really?
Yep.
Where the hell did you hear that?
I watched a video on it.
Huh.
The day that I watched videos when you were sleeping. Huh. I watched a bunch of videos.
The day. Like, we're supposed to pinpoint the day.
No, there was a day that I watched, 2 hours of, snake videos while you were sleeping.
Yeah.
And that was the day I was looking at Blue Insularis and different stuff. And there was a specialist talking about Blue Insularis, and they have a necrotic that's also, it has a slight neuro thing to it. Okay. It can cause, prolonged problems.
I got ya.
Not usually will it kill you, though. And they said that you depending on where it bites you, you want to tie it off or you don't want to tie it off. If it's, on a finger or a hand, then... A lot of times, if it's a finger, they don't want you to tie it off. If it's your whole hand, they don't. Because you can actually save your whole hand if it goes throughout your body a little bit. And then they were saying, because that it's got the neurotoxin in it, that it's kind of iffy what you want to do with it. But if anytime that you have just a necrotic, that if you tie off or you tape off the skin really nice and tight, a lot of times it'll hold the venom where it's at because it sits at the surface more than the other two.
Huh. I didn't know that.
A lot of times, that's the reason why a lot of times you'll see people have big scars on their hands from a bite snake or a snake bite. It's because they, it fucked that skin right there.
Right.
But they had it roped off just in time. That's what they call it, roping off, so that way it doesn't go farther.
Kenan got Pinky back.
Pinky is the Black Dragon, right? That's awesome.
I haven't heard anything about Bobby yet, but he got Pinky back.
I made a $5,000 animal that was gifted to you by
Kevin.
Quite arguably one of the smartest reptile people in the world.
Yeah,
no, I mean, out of the two of them, at least it was that one. I know that a black lace or a lace monitor isn't.
No, black throat.
Black throat, is that what it was?
Yeah, Bobby's a black throat.
I couldn't remember if you said it was a lace monitor or a black throat monitor.
Yep, Bobby's a black throat. I know. Well, Kenan is really attached to Bobby because he put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that little dude. He almost died.
Right.
They thought he was going to die. For 6 months, he busted ass with this critter.
Right.
To try and keep him alive, and he's really attached to Bobby. So, I haven't watched the video yet. I saw the announcement that he got her back, but I hope he gets Bobby back, too.
Right. You'd imagine it would be the same people?
It is the same people.
So, That's
what they did to Tom Crutchfield, too. They took a whole bunch of his shit, and they returned one of them. Just one. Unharmed. It was fine. They killed multiple animals and returned one.
That sucks.
They kept several. Florida's getting hit hard. That's what that dude and I were actually just talking about yesterday. Because they hit Tyler. They hit Tom Crutchfield.
Oh, really?
And they've hit several others. And so now Chandler's like, ugh. So, but Chandler's got Bera.
Well, that, and he's got an owl that...
The owl's in the house, though.
Oh, is it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the owl's not trained to attack people.
Oh, the, second largest owl in the world or something? It's fucking massive. Alright, if it doesn't scare people away, I don't know what fucking will, okay? Because, I don't find owls to be scary at all.
Dude.
But, a 3-foot owl coming after you is not a fun game.
Okay, if we ever decide to own an owl, I want
a little tiny barn owl.
A little screech owl. The fucking noise that comes out of that tiny bird is astounding to
It'd be annoying, though.
They don't do it all the time.
I know, but still,
It's
when you
funny.
did...
No, it's hilarious. Oh my god.
I already have to deal with a fennec fox someday. Which, by the way, we already kind of have a fennec fox, okay? They act just like Tinkerbell.
She is not a fennec fox.
She acts just like them.
She does not count.
She acts just like it. She, comes up to you, all scared looking, wanting attention.
Okay, but, she does not count, because if you still get to get your finger monkeys, I get to get my fennec fox. That's the thing. I gave up my zebra. I'm not giving up my fennec fox.
Who wants a extra strong fucking horse that's a dick?
Me! So I can teach it to not be a dick, because I have the kind of patience for that. Not for people, apparently.
Because they are dicks. It's a known fact. Zebras are dicks. As a matter of fact, they will gang up on other horses that don't look like them just to be a dick to them.
Yeah, but horses do the same thing to cows. You put a cow or two in with a group of horses, and the horses are going to harass the fuck out of that cow. Mocha's a bitch. Our machete snakes are going to be assholes.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
They are going to be wild caught. Yes, they are.
If they're little enough, we might be able to train that out of them very quickly.
Yes, I didn't say they wouldn't be eventually. I'm saying when we get them, they're going to be dicks.
You don't know that, though. They might be kind of chill. We might get the most passive-aggressive one out of all of them that's around there, and you never fucking know.
You better hope at least one of them is friendly.
I think with enough work that we'll get them to be friendly for us to be able to do shows with and stuff.
I don't know if we'll be able to ever hand them off to people. But
exactly.
They might be like...
It's kind of like Mocha. I would be perfectly fine taking Mocha anywhere and showing her off and talking about her, me and you.
Yeah.
And maybe some, kids petting her towards, the middle of her body.
Yeah, not something other people can hold.
I don't feel like it would be ever smart to give give Mocha to somebody.
No.
Because she just is...
She just has a
little
bit
too bipolar.
Yeah.
And for somebody not knowing her behaviors, we're not experts by any means.
No, but...
But we have all the knowledge of her behavior from when she was a baby. So, 3 months old, 3-4 months old.
We know what her body language means. We know what she
And we know how she acts. We know when, she's like, okay, man, I'm going to strike here in a second. You need to knock it off.
She really isn't a fan of little kids.
Kids wouldn't know that.
Even little kids petting her. She's really not a fan of little kids. And I think it's because they don't pet her as gently as adults do. An adult will take the back of their finger and they just gently pet them. Kids are like... You know what I mean? And she's not a fan.
Now, if I had to trust, honestly, I really think that once Robert gets a little bit more size, he's going to be really good for, shows and doing stuff like that. And, handing him off to people once he has some size to him.
He's much more mellow than the girls.
And, Terra Bear is just about right there, too.
She's okay to a point.
As long as we are close.
Yeah, we need to stay close to her, and when she's had enough, she's done. She doesn't want any more. But she lets you know when she's had enough without being defensive about it. She lets you know first, okay, I'm done with this.
Because instead of getting defensive, she just shuts down.
Yep.
She's like, all right, I'm done now.
Like,
come get me. I'm done.
Yep, she completely shuts down and wants nothing to do with anybody and just like curls
She's
the
like,
ball and
yep,
that's it.
coils up and that's that. She's done.
And we're like, yep, you're done, and we put her away.
No more parlor tricks for that one.
And she goes away for a while, and we break out somebody else.
I mean, we have a big enough collection now. I mean, just since July when we did our show, we only had like 6 reptiles in July.
Yeah, we only took 4 of them because the other ones were Chance and Jackson, and neither one of them are ready for that.
Well, we just got Chance like 3 weeks before that, if I am correct.
Yeah.
Before we had
and
that.
We hadn't had Jackson very long. Either.
And Jackson, I think we had him about 2 months, but like he really didn't bear people all that much.
He
really
not
doesn't
tolerate anybody yet.
He still doesn't. Like he deals with you about okay, but that's about it.
He tolerates my existence and the things I do to him, and he tolerates me giving him some love here and there, but I can't say he's necessarily a fan.
No. Like, he's not happy when you go to grab him. He's like, meh.
He's like, well, I know you're not going to hurt me, but goddamn it.
Like, just leave me be a lazy bastard in my bed and not move.
Dude, he's been laying in those beds for like 5 days.
I honestly was kind of getting concerned. And then...
I got him out the other day to make sure he was okay.
He got up and went into... Or was sunbathing on his... Hammock, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not so worried now.
I got him out the other day because I was worried about him, and I just wanted to see what his behavior was like. And see if he was acting normal or not. See how he was doing. He was fine. He acted just the way he always does. I didn't have any problems. He was fine, and when I put him back in there, he meandered around for a little while and fucked off in there, and then he finally went back, laid him on his bed, so I'm like, okay. Well, he's okay. He's just being a fucking lazy bastard right now.
Right.
Not that the girls do a whole lot of running around. The only one that does is the psycho.
So, I had a stoner question of my own tonight for you.
Okay.
And it's something that I think you've probably thought about a good deal.
Okay.
What is your top animal that you would like to see, let alone buy at Tinley?
Oh, God.
Like, it has to be something that we can buy, though.
Okay, so can I do one that we could see and buy, and one that just to see it?
Okay.
It would be the coolest thing in the world to see something like a Perenni or a Komodo dragon. I know we couldn't buy them.
I knew you were going to say Perenni.
It would be, like, a Perenni, I wish we could, but there'd be no fucking way.
There's no way we have space for something like that right now.
It would be amazing. I'd fucking figure it out. I tell you right now, I'd figure it out. But they are... It's the money that would be the problem. It would just be cool to see one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just see one.
Even a black dragon.
Oh, I'd be stoked to see a black dragon. But to bring home... Oh... Number one thing I could find at Tinley and bring home. If you know yours, let me think on mine, and you can tell me.
I would definitely say, for us to buy is a white lip. They're pretty uncommon. Usually when you see them, I mean, there's usually a couple on Morph Market. A couple. And besides underground, which, by the way, they're wild that way, which I don't want one of those wild. No. Mm-mm. They are pretty girthy. They don't get super long, but they get really girthy. They're built
similar to a carpet.
And I just wouldn't be comfortable with having a wildcat. Anyways, there's only usually like maybe 6 or 7 on Morph Market at a time, if that even, half the time. And usually they go from anywhere from like 600 at a minimum upwards to 3,000 on an average. I have seen one for like 5,500. One of those orange albinos I saw was 5,500, which, I mean, come on. An albino white lip, which, by the way, just makes them all the more fucking bright yellow and orange looking. And then in the light, they're just stupid. You can't even tell that they're fucking orange because they're so iridescent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like a picture of one? Oh, they're crazy. They have almost a black head. And then they turn orange, the rest of them, and you can't even see their body. Like the color, because it's so iridescent if there's any light.
I guess either a black white lip, a southern, or a moon glow. We've only found moon glows once, ever.
That was when we went to Rochester.
That's what made me fall in love with them. And then we found sun glows, and I'm like, oh my god, they're both perfect.
The sun glows excite me more than the moon glows, for sure.
I love the moon glows.
Even though I really
I love her personality. Like, a boa's personality is so much different than a python's, and I'm all about it.
So, like, she has I feel like they have the temperament of like maybe a little like a ball python or even a little easier.
They are.
And at the same time, the energeticness when you have them out, they want to be moving and doing something, and they're like extremely like they want to see what's going on around them. Of a carpet, like they're
maybe that's what
they like to move around.
I am very quickly falling in love with boas.
Like that 2-year-old that we were playing with at the expo last time. I mean, she was just going the whole time.
Amazing.
She was like a 5.5 foot 2-year-old boa that was just about moving.
If we couldn't have bought her, I would have asked if we could have bought that one.
No, I would have bought that blood because that blood was really fucking cheap for some reason. It was $400 for the blood. It was a female blood python, and she was so fucking red. It was dope.
Was she a blood python or was she a blood boa? Because
or a blood boa.
Okay, because there is a blood python.
No, it was a blood boa. And remember, it had the short tail.
Yeah.
Because we were like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, it's a blood boa. It's a stub tail."
Yeah, it's like a
stub tail blood boa. That's what he said.
Yeah, because it's like a specific
locality.
No, not locality. A specific specific snake had it, and its offspring had it. Their offspring had it. Like a specific line.
I gotcha.
An ancestry line is where it comes from. It's a polygenic thing. So, like, if you breed two of them together, you're going to get more of them that have it. But if you breed one that doesn't have it, only some of them are going to have it.
I gotcha. It's more or less like recessive.
Kind of, but not quite. It's different.
It only needs one gene to get it.
Yeah, but there's no odds as to
what. At the same time, you don't get you're not going to get a bunch of them.
No,
if you only have one. And when you have two of them, you have way more of a chance than if you only have one.
And there's not really a good set of odds for it either. So that's kind of hit.
Literally just the luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know. Either the moon glow or a black white lip. One of the two.
I gotcha.
Those are the two things I'm really looking to see. I'm not going to lie. I'm really kind of hoping to see some stellar carpets just because nobody works with them. And that they do their jungles. I'm like, where are all the coastals?
Right. Well, you barely hear doomerals, like,
that's because doomeral bows are not easy to find.
Like, you don't, that's a boa. I'm sorry. What was I thinking? Oh, Darwin. Yeah. You barely ever hear of Darwins.
We see some IJs a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about as often as you see coastals, as you see those.
Yeah.
And then diamonds, I've never seen a diamond in person, I don't think.
I've seen one.
Have you?
And it was the time you didn't get to come with me.
Oh, I gotcha.
The first time you didn't get to come with me, I was by myself. Trust me, if I'd had enough money with me, I'd just fucking brought it home.
I'm sure they wanted probably like $800 for it or more.
And I didn't have it. But they, I've seen one. And it was a baby and it was beautiful.
Someday, like when we have our buildings and stuff, we'll have a pair of diamonds.
I know.
For sure. But,
like, nobody works with the coastals, and it'd be nice to see some stellar coastals.
Right. It'd be different. All right, let's get talking about some of the stuff we got to talk about, shall we?
All right.
I just wanted to see what you would say. Me and you both are looking at white lips. I would love either an orange or a black. I would. Unfortunately, we have to have a
female orange.
A female orange. So, like, it would be more expensive for us to buy her than if she was a black orange. Or a male orange. Jesus Christ.
I know.
Shut up. I can see you over there, like, half-ass laughing at me because my brain's just struggling.
If I can get some freaking appointments to show up.
But, I mean, we're both about...
it'd be nice if we had enough money. Like, you had enough money saved to buy a white lip, I had enough saved to buy a boa, and bam, we filled 2 20-gallon tanks.
We'll see.
That'd be nice.
Okay, so tonight's strain of the night is Chocolope Kush. Because my wife wanted to hear about Chocolope Kush last week. Since I told her there was 2 strains, and the second strain was Chocolope Kush.
Yes, I want to hear about it.
Which, by the way, the Chocolope was almost black. This is like a bright green.
Let's get its color from that other strain.
Right. Most likely. Watch it.
Sorry.
Chill out, woman. Fuck's wrong with you?
I was trying to remove the string off my glove.
Oh, he's trying to fuck everything up. All right, Chocolope Kush. Its genetics are a sativa dominant at 60%. So there's a good chance we probably maybe even had this over the other Chocolope. No way, there was 2 kinds of Chocolope. We still got some in there. Is it about?
Sure.
I gotcha.
Pretty close to out.
So it is made from a kosher Kush and Chocolope. It's high in THC. Its CBD is unknown. The smell and flavor is chocolate Kush and sweetness. So, like, I feel like it would be very awesome.
I feel like it's going to taste like chocolate-covered weed. And I'm okay with that.
I mean, I don't think I'd ever complain about that, for sure.
No, I can't really complain about chocolate-covered anything.
The effects are relaxed, uplifting, happy, and euphoric. So, I mean, maybe, I don't know. The chocolate we had was pretty fucking good. I can tell you that. That's all I know. Its awards and recognition is it was first place. There's another number, but this says 7, so I don't know what the number stands for. I don't know. Strongest strains in the world by High Times Magazine, 2012. I feel like that's a pretty big honor. Like when you're in the top 5 highest, or strongest strains.
Right? Sorry.
Imagine if you're a genetic breeder for weed. And you come up with something that people were like, oh my god, dude, best top 5s. You know what I mean? You'd be just astonished.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, okay. So, it says, this strain is absolutely exceptional because it's derived from 2 of the most legendary strains out there. Kosher Kush and Chocolope. Kosher Kush won every single TH Cannabis Cup it entered. It was considered the 7th strongest strain in the world according to TH Magazine in 2012. Chocolope is one of the most popular new school sativas growing on the face of Earth. I gotcha. These champions created Chocolope Kush, which mandates delicious chocolate. I don't know. Flavors and a cushy aroma. I love how they use cushy, like reminiscing the toker of good times. This 60% sativa and 40% indica generates all around highs. Chocolope Kush is a very potent and develops bountiful yields. The flowering period lasts around 9 weeks. This dank is 420% quality, in which it includes all ganja gardens in the universe. It should be included in all ganja gardens in the universe. Grow your own Chocolope Kush. It's a medium difficulty, and it's a photo period flower type at 9 weeks. Its harvested time outdoors is October, so you're looking towards end of July, beginning of September, or August, to be able to get this planted. Yields are between 500 and 600 grams. That's per metric meter. Or square meter. So I think that's by a 3x3 bush. Would be 500 to 600 grams.
I got ya.
It says yields outdoor are large. Its height is tall and its weight, its height indoor is tall and its height outdoor is tall. So there you go. If you're looking for a strain you can get a bunch off of, doesn't seem to take too much of a challenge to make. Grow, I mean, there you go. Something sweet.
Right?
Sounds like it'll whoop your ass.
My fucking nose is whooping my ass right now. I have a cold. It's literally...
Yeah, we know.
It's fun.
We know. Alright, let's hear your questions of the night.
Let's see.
Since you heard my question.
Which of the teachers would you prefer to have if you were a Hogwarts student?
Probably McGonagall. If I'm being honest. I like her style.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I want Hagrid.
Well, I didn't... Okay, Hagrid's not actually a teacher.
He is too. He teaches the mythical creatures class. That's where they meet, what's his name?
He's a groundskeeper. He's the groundskeeper.
Yeah, he also teaches about the critters.
Bullshit.
Nah, he has a whole. He teaches. That's where they meet Buckbeak.
I call
whatever
bullshit.
the fuck his name is. I'll make you watch it.
It's
We
Buckbeak.
have the movie.
Yeah, I know. It's Buckbeak.
There we go. I'll make you watch it. And prove it.
Just saying.
I'm picking Hagrid.
He's not an actual teacher in the school.
Sure is.
No.
He's part of the school. I'm picking Hagrid.
He's not like Mad-Eye Moody. He's not like Snape. He's not actually in the building doing work.
He's
the groundskeeper. He's the groundskeeper that teaches about dangerous shit outside.
Exactly.
To save the kids safe.
He is there.
Or keep the kids safe.
Okay.
I'm just saying. It's not a real teacher.
You cannot change my answer. That's my
Whatever. What's your next question?
Don't roll your eyes at me.
You deserved it.
I did not.
Did.
No.
Did.
Mm-mm. Wow, this is really stupid.
Holy shit.
How karma plays a role in life. So I think they missed the word. How do you think karma plays a role in life?
I mean, I definitely believe in karma.
Oh, samesies.
For
I've
sure.
seen that shit go off firsthand. I'm like, yeah.
Many times.
Could have called that.
I mean, it does a good job with what it does already. Let's just leave it at that. You keep pulling that string off and shit, your fucking things are going to fall apart altogether.
Yeah, but it's just like...
You know, we could that's all we can hear in the background is that, right?
No.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you're louder than my string.
Bullshit. I don't know. I think it does a pretty good job now.
I think it does. I mean, I've gotten so now I'm just like,
I mean,
I'll get you.
I think it's like a lot of times, like when it comes to like when karma happens, like it's one of those things that like when someone's being a direct dickhead about things, and like it's just like insta karma. That's when you see insta karma. Is when somebody is being a direct dickhead about things, and you're like, you get what you got coming to you, and like 3 minutes later something happens. You're like, see, that's what you get.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
I get it. I don't know. Like, sometimes karma takes a while, but eventually you get what you give.
Just like if you look at the boy's sperm donor.
Oh, yeah.
Right now is a perfect example of karma.
Yeah.
Like, he's all worried that because him and his girlfriend are splitting up or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's worried that she's going to do exactly what he did to us.
What he's been doing for 10 years.
Yeah. He's scared she's going to. I'm like, what you've done for the last, 10 years.
And the mind-blowing thing is he bitches to me about it.
This is funny. If it was me, I'd be like, oh, well, taste your own medicine, huh? That's all I said.
I know, but I'm trying really hard not to stir the pot, because if he thinks we're friends, it's honestly easier for me to find out stuff that we need to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I shut up and just listen, and sometimes that pays off better for us.
I know. But that's where you hope the karma just comes into play, which it's working its way in there.
I knew he's put me through hell for a very long time.
Right.
He'll get what's coming to him. He will.
Eventually, he'll catch him.
I know.
For sure.
It is what it is.
So we finished Guy then?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. We powered through that pretty well.
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty proud of us.
Woot. Woot.
Damn it.
I just keep going back to the whole thinking about Tinley. I'm like, oh man. This is one of those things the different shit that we'd be able to see there.
The people. The stuff. Sorry. This Pepsi's kicking my ass tonight. The people and the animals and the knowledge and just there's so many aspects of it that I'm so excited for. The auction is going to be awesome. Are we going to participate? Probably not. But
we're going to go to it for sure.
It's going to be cool as fuck even just to see it. And
you never know. I mean, you might be able to find a nice price on something that we were looking at.
I know.
It just depends on how many people show up that are at the auction. First off, you have to be a VIP to go to the auction.
Right.
So, there's only so many of those. So, if it's not something that's big on someone's wish list, I mean, you're not going to spend $1,000 on it or $800 on it. So, I mean, it's one of those things that is all going to be the luck of the draw. Because those are all
Can you
donated
imagine
animals.
if we could get one of either a white lip or a moon glow or something at
Right.
the auction for way cheaper than we'd have to pay for one outright?
Right.
Underground Reptiles has some cool shit up in their auction this week again.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah, they sent me an email today.
I'm really excited for the auction. I think it'd be really, really fun.
Oh my god, me too.
It'd just be something different.
I know. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the whole trip.
Me too. I have quite a few people I'm pretty anticipating on hopefully seeing and or meeting.
Right?
Like, I'd love to meet Bob Clark. That'd be cool.
Right.
Like the first commercial breeder of reptiles in the United States.
Oh my god, he'd be
Come on
amazing
now.
to meet. It'd be fucking amazing.
It'd be super, super awesome.
There's a lot of people that would be really cool to meet there.
Yeah. Justin Cobley.
Yep.
I know that he goes, so that would be really cool to meet him. And of course, Brian and Kevin. And, I mean, there's the possibility of, like, Tyler maybe being there.
Yeah, I don't know if Tyler would be there or not, because that's all... He would have to come all the way from Florida.
Right.
So
I mean, I could see...
I could see him coming just because he can.
Or maybe even Chandler.
It's going to depend on what Chandler's got going on and how busy he is at the time.
Right.
For sure.
But I know he goes out to events and stuff,
Yeah.
so, I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would. I'd love to just... I'm really excited for it. Like...
Right.
As soon as I start thinking about it, my brain starts going a million miles an hour in a million different directions because there's so much stuff I'm excited about for it. First of all, I'm going away for how many days with my husband and no children.
Right.
I love that.
Well, we were talking that we wanted to leave like first thing in the morning on Thursday. I don't think that you're able to go until like 4 in the afternoon or
Which
something
is great
like that.
because we could get there and, take a shower and get so we look halfway decent.
And have something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have Thursday night, they have like a pre-party where all the people are setting up their booths and
Yep.
they have a party afterwards. And just the VIPs are invited, which I think here, like next week or so, I'm probably going to buy the tickets, the VIP tickets. I just don't want them to sell out of them or something and us not go.
I'd be really
without
bummed out because the VIP tickets is what really makes it worth going for this, for us.
Well, I mean, like, it opens you up to go to all the presentations. It opens you up to go to the auction. It opens you up to go to the party the first day.
Yeah, like, I'm really excited.
I mean, there's only one presentation a day that I saw. They said to be announced. So, I don't know who all they'll have doing stuff.
Right.
But the two that we know for sure are Brian and Kevin.
Right.
So, we think that would be fun.
I'm so excited.
So they don't have like a ton of shit going on like that, but they have, like, I'm sure there's probably going to be a ton of different shit there. Like different vendors and stuff for all kinds of stuff.
Every single person I've talked to or heard talk about it that's gone says it's so worth it and it's so amazing. Like,
Well, it's only $30. I mean, that's actually really cheap.
Right.
But I mean, the VIPs are $50 a piece. So I mean, even still $100 for a pair of tickets is cheap for a weekend.
Right. That's not bad. I'll take it. Like, I'm really excited for it. I'm hoping that it's everything we're hoping it's going to be.
I'm sure they'll have its drawbacks and it's stuff that we weren't expecting. Like something that we'll be like, oh, it would be better if it was like this. But at the same time, I'm sure there'll be a lot of shit that we don't expect that actually does happen or we actually do see or actually happens,
Right? I feel you.
I'm just excited to meet new people and to learn like all the different shit that we'll learn while we're there.
Same.
Whether we just keep our mouth shut and just listen and that's how we're learning or if we're, I know, but.
Who the fuck you talking to?
I know.
Since when do I keep my mouth shut?
I know. Never.
I'll literally look at the person next to me and be like, yeah, by the way. And talk to them.
Yeah, we know.
I like to talk.
Right.
I like making friends. I like meeting new people. In certain situations. Some situations I'm like, I get nervous and I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm hoping that's not going to be one of those situations. Not one of those shell-shocked, kind of situations. I don't think that'll be a thing, though.
Like when you meet Brian, you just like freeze. You're just like...
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen. It'll scare me.
Which is funny because he has anxiety and stuff too, so like...
Right!
He'd understand. He'd feel you. He'd be like, yeah, I get it.
I know. But this side of me is way more fun.
We'll just have to get you baked before we go.
That's a great idea.
No, it's not.
Sure is.
No, it's not.
I think it's a fabulous idea. Who are you kidding? We're probably going to smoke before we go there.
Oh, I imagine. At least something, but... Yeah. Especially since we're going all the way through Michigan to get there.
Yeah.
And Michigan's like... one of the first states to get legal.
We're going to be stopping at the dispensary at like 8 a.m.
On our way through. Oh, yeah.
We need some weed.
Oh, I've got to bring some home. Like, I plan on taking a couple $100 for, like, stuff like that, too. Because first off, it's cheap there. Like,
we're not selling it. We're just going to smoke it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because...
I want to get different strains that we don't have now.
Beautiful. And we can just alternate.
Try new stuff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is part of my plan.
Oh, you're wonderful.
I have different parts of my plan. That's going to be the ride home.
Okay.
It's going to stop in different places in Michigan.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of different places that we could stop. It would just be like all along the way. And it might be like a half-hour stop kind of thing.
Right.
Not going to lie, I was kind of hoping we were going to go by Detroit so I could go to Mom's Spaghetti, just because.
I thought you would never let me go to Detroit. You wanted to go to Detroit for something, and I wanted to go with you, and you're like, you're never stepping foot in Detroit. And I'm like, why?
I don't remember why. Oh, I wanted to just go take photography. Yeah. Because there's a lot of places that are falling apart and shit in Detroit.
And I wanted to go with you, just to see it, and you're like, no, you're not getting shot, because you get shot.
You get mouthy with the wrong person.
I probably would, because I'd probably wear my fucking hat that says free face punches, like I did all the way through New York City.
Right. Oops. Anyways. What did you say?
Face punches.
Yeah. For Detroit, yeah. Yeah.
That's why you said I wasn't allowed to go to Detroit.
It's a pretty logical reason.
I mean, it probably. I know I'm mouthy. I know I have zero filter. It's okay.
Zero.
Especially if somebody pisses me off. Like, if I'm not pissed, it's a little bit better. But once I get pissed or you start yelling at me, that's it. It's game on, motherfucker. And then there's no filter. And I turn into an angry black woman.
And a dick.
Sometimes.
I know. I've really been in my mind lately about Tinley.
I know.
And just the trip overall, like, we'll definitely have to tell you guys about, like, all the shit that we do buy in Michigan or whatnot, or whatever we do end up buying.
Right?
Just because, you know.
Absolutely.
It'll be exciting. I'm sure we'll buy a pipe along the way, and that'll be our Tinley pipe.
Of course.
You know, we bought a Tinley.
Whatever animal we buy from Tinley, though, it has to be named Tinley. Like, that's its name.
You're funny. Boy or girl, Tinley. Yep,
its name is Tinley. I don't know. If it's a boy, we can name him Tinler. I don't know.
No, Tinley's fine.
Okay.
We'll just call him Tin if it's a boy.
Tin.
There you go. This is my boy, Tin.
Be like our little Popo and Tintin.
Oh, man. By the sounds of it, we're going to get a white lip if we find one. It's in a price range for us.
Right. Be nice.
Right. You know what would be kind of cool, though? Is once we do start breeding, if they don't have mini carpets there, we go be the carpet people.
I know, because I'm telling you, give me a little bit more space and your wife can have some cool-ass carpets. Because we need space for carpets, like, you know what I mean?
I mean, we're going to end up with some cool-ass carpets as is.
Exactly, and we're going to keep some. And then they're going to make even more cool-ass carpets and some more cool-ass carpets. And it's just going to be carpet projects, and it's going to be so fun. So excited.
I'm going to need at least 4 female carpets.
See?
For my idea of genetics I'm coming up with. I'm not talking about it, sorry.
It's okay.
Just saying.
I know.
It's going to take 4 females.
Well, see? Carpets are a thing. I love the carpets.
I know.
They're like my spirit snake.
Okay.
Sweet but feisty.
Oh, okay. They got a brake sticking.
Yeah, they do. Tell me I'm wrong. They're sweet, but they're feisty.
Okay.
And they're kind of pretty.
I can't say you're wrong there.
I'm kind of pretty.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I get it. See? Spirit snake.
You're kind of wrong.
You love me.
So.
What?
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
That's fine. I'm going to warm it up in my hands while we do this.
Wipe out. All right. What is Kodiak courage?
Kodiak courage. Braving the cold to go get something stupid.
Okay. Is that your whole answer?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an extra dose of courage and the tendency to go beyond one's usual physical limits when being filmed or photographed. Oh. From action sports such as skateboarding, snowboarding, and extreme skiing.
Huh. So I think Kodiak is in pictures. I'm thinking Kodiak is in, like, the cold place.
Right. I was a bit nervous being the first to hit the jump, but when you're with a film crew, you get that Kodiak courage. So like you said, you know, like Kodiak, yeah. Like film, camera, yeah.
Did you understand my line of thinking? Then?
I did. Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. That you're just like, okay, so I really need a munchie, but it's really cold outside and I want to go to the store, but I really want this munchie.
Yeah. Or like, fuck, I forgot my phone in the car and it's really cold outside. Do I really want to go get it? Is it really that important?
You know what you didn't do tonight? What you forgot?
What?
Your cheese balls.
Motherfucker.
I just thought about it.
That makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Guess you're gonna have to smoke some weed to make you feel better about it. Damn it.
That bugs me out.
It kind of made me laugh because I felt like you probably were gonna go with like an animal of some sort. God dang it.
What, the Kodiak thing?
Yeah. I felt like you would go with something with an animal, see what you could do there. Well, my first thought was
the Kodiak bear.
Yeah, right. I figured you would.
And I'm like, okay. It's cold there. I'm like, well, maybe it means braving the cold for something stupid.
I don't think it was a horrible guess, though.
No. I mean, at least it was a relatively reasonable guess.
It was just a different direction, as well.
I didn't even think about Kodiak being, like, picture stuff.
Yeah, because Kodiak's not really a thing anymore. But still, that's aging us a little bit there, Mal.
Yeah, it is.
Damn it.
Sorry. Wait, why is it my fault? You're the one who picked the fucking word.
You're the one that brought it up.
It's part of the word!
It's not... The young generation would not get it. Guarantee it.
What Kodiak is?
Yeah. They would mean like a Kodiak film. Yeah, they wouldn't have any idea.
No.
You kidding me? When fucking Sublime comes on at the store, the kids are like, man, this is really old. I'm like, it's a 90s song. Like, it's not that old. That was before I was born. I'm like, holy fuck.
I know.
It's like, it makes me think of all the times that when I was like in the 90s, my parents were like, oh, this is such a good song. And I'm like, ugh.
I know!
And they're like, it's an 80s song. You wouldn't understand it. And I'm like, that's me in the 90s now. I'm like, oh, God. Like, I am my parents from when I was a kid.
I know.
Shit.
I know. I used to make fun of my gram for listening to the Golden Oldies station. And I'm like, it makes me wonder what our Golden Oldies station is going to sound like.
They already have stuff from the 90s on the Golden Oldies.
Are you serious?
I ain't shitting you. The other day, the Black Crowes was on the old rock station at the bar.
What in the actual
I was like, the Black Crowes were big in the 90s. Fuck you. They ain't that old.
Bastards.
Golden Oldies bastards.
God. We're only 30.
One.
In our 30s.
Oh, it was 32.
Shut the fuck up.
I got like less than a month. Then I'll be 32.
Yeah, I know. If I don't get some
that,
fucking
right?
appointments, I have to figure out how I'm going to pay for your birthday.
It'll be alright.
I don't want to hear your fucking nonsense.
Speaking of money, Like, at least with me working all the fucking time, I'll have money to be able to pay off the Yukon stuff real quick. Like, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, are we taking the car or the Yukon? I'm hoping we're going to take the car.
The car.
Because the car is better on gas. By a lot.
I mean, if we don't find us a place to stay, we could stay in the back of the Yukon.
I mean, we could just blow up an air mattress. It's going to be March.
It wouldn't work very well.
Just try and sit up in the morning and smack our head off the fucking ceiling.
Well, that, and there's a set of seats in the back that we'd have to take out to put an air mattress in.
Yeah, I know. It's not that hard.
To take the whole seat out?
No, you just unclip it.
And then it still has a thing like this above it. So, like, that would not work with our air mattress. It'd pop a hole.
You just pat it. You pat it with, like, a rolled-up blanket, and then you put your air mattress
With as much as you roll around?
Wouldn't it be underneath it?
As long as you don't fucking move the air mattress where you're rolling around like a fucking rag doll all night.
Yeah, but the air mattress wouldn't have a whole lot of wriggle room, so it's not like it would move much.
It could. It could.
I'm telling you how.
Not to mention, I don't know how we fit an air mattress in like just a little itty bitty back, and then like where the seat is, it would be like this wide. It'd be like as wide as the air mattress is all the wider we could fit in it.
We'd both just have to sleep on our sides and snuggle all night. It's gonna be a long few nights. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Let's not. I mean, it'd save us a lot of money, but at the same time,
we could pitch a tent at a campground. And
in March,
we'll
you in a tent. First off, in March.
First of all,
you stayed in a tent like 3 times since we've been together. Maybe four. 3 times with my mom and once for your bachelorette party.
Yeah.
And you were drunk on that time.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but like, we could get one of them little propane heaters and our tent would be nice and warm. And don't give me that look.
You gotta catch a tent on fire.
Nah.
My
dad and I used to run one in our tent all the time.
That's dangerous.
Not when you put it in the corner away from pointed, like, so that it's pointed this way. Like, this is the corner of the tent. And it's pointed, like, this far out away from the tent. And it's pointed out so that it's blowing heat into the tent. And then...
How big of a tent did you have?
Oh, like one of them fucking massive motherfuckers. Like one of the 12 people tents.
What the fuck?
For us 3 kids, my dad.
Well, he wanted you to have your own room, I'm sure.
Well, it was so like that Morgan and I could kind of have an area, and then him and Kenzie could have, or him and my brother could have an area, and like we could have the screen up when we were getting dressed if we needed to. You know what I mean? Just made it easier. Right. But we could heat it. That's what we heated it with at nighttime when it was really cold.
All night?
It would run and yeah.
You weren't worried it'd catch on fire?
No, it never did. We did it a lot.
All you'd have to do is tip it over and it would catch on fire.
Nobody slept next to it. Nobody slept anywhere near it. Because the tent was so big that like there was like 3 sections, okay? Mm-hmm. And they would sleep in the middle section. We slept at the far end. That end section, it was the only thing over there. So that it wasn't, nothing else caught. It was near it. It was fine. And he would take bricks and kind of box it in so like it couldn't just tip over if the wind blew wrong and caught the tent or something. Couldn't just tip over. It was boxed in with 2 sets of bricks.
It's a hazard. Any way I look at it, it's a hazard.
I'm giving you options here, okay?
That's not an option. I choose life.
I camped that way for years, and here I am.
Or, 3rd-degree burns. Doesn't sound nice either. I'm just saying.
I didn't have those either. That's what them fucking things are made for. Camping.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like outside.
You can't heat the outside with it.
Sure you can. You've never heated the outside?
You don't heat the outside, you fool.
You've never heated the outside. You're crazy.
The outside. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why do you think it's always warmer when it's camping season? Duh. Everyone heats the outside.
You're fucking stupid. That's worse than me asking you if they actually still stomp grapes with their feet.
They do in some things, though.
My mom laughed at me so hard when I asked her that. Like, she laughed so hard she cried, and she was like, that's the dumbest question ever. Why would they still do that? I'm like, Well, they still make wine and stuff overseas. Like, I didn't know if there were places that still
do
did it
that here
way,
still.
or if there was places here that still did it, or what. I'm like, I thought it was a legitimate question. Now,
they wear bags over their feet of some sort, like they wear a thing over their foot.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Nobody wants toe jam in their wine.
Well, I mean, they could spend 5 minutes washing their feet first, you know.
Yeah.
It's more so the hair in your
Can we just put
jam, because
wine socks
people
on
have
or
hairy
something?
feet, you know.
Let's put some plastic wine socks on.
Yeah, see, that's what I said.
But I think my favorite question ever that I've ever asked is when I was pregnant.
The bulldozer question.
Yeah. It's my favorite.
So there is a bulldozer in our yard where our house is now. And there is a flatbed, trailer for it over by our driveway. The entrance to our driveway by our tree. The bulldozer's in the yard, and that's over by the tree. There's no truck. There's no nothing else. So she looks perplexed when we get here. I'm like, oh boy. What is perplexing you? She says, how did he get home? What do you mean, how did he get home? He's like, well, the bulldozer's right there still. And the trailer's right there. So he hauled the trailer with the bulldozer all the way here. So how'd he get home? I was like, the bulldozer was on the back of on the trailer on the back of a truck. He drove the truck home, the 40 miles back home from where he started at. Did you think they drove the bulldozer at 5 miles an hour here 40 fucking miles to our house? And she said, yeah, I guess that makes more sense that way than the way I thought. I was like, oh, woman. Yeah, so that was,
Man.
And she wasn't a stoner at that point.
No, I was pregnant at that point.
With the other boy. Yeah, that was...
I think
it was a very long year.
I think that was the point he wondered why he reproduced with me.
It is probably one of the favorite my most favorite scenarios ever that we've ever had. It was so funny.
Oh, I know.
It blew my mind. I'm not going to lie, but...
It's a story we're going to be telling our grandkids someday.
Oh, God. That was before Grandma was a stoner for 44 years.
Right? Grandma just had pregnancy brain.
Yeah, okay. What about the last 44 years after that?
Stoner.
By this point.
Stoner.
No.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It couldn't possibly just because I'm dumb.
Oh, okay. Advice of the night, though.
Let's hear it.
Always, look at things in any angle that you could look at things. Even if it's a really stupid angle, just saying.
Huh?
Look at every angle of things, and every angle that you can at everything.
Okay.
Even if it's a really stupid way to look at something.
Okay.
There you go.
You should explain why.
Okay, so I knew the situation that happened at that angle, and you did not. So, and then there's other angles to it. What if it was hauling a truck? The bulldozer was hauling a truck on there.
That would be how I.
And then he drove. Yeah, right. And then he drove home.
Me and be like, "What in the actual fuck are you doing?" I'm going to work.
That's another angle. I mean, it is. Is it not the right angle? Sure, but I mean, you know. Also, it pays to look at everything in every angle because then you can always anticipate what could happen in the near future. That's where I was getting with that.
Are you hinting that you're going to buy me a leash when we go to Tinley?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck?
I think you were worried I was going to run away at Tinley and get lost and get all the nonsense.
Okay. No.
Okay.
I mean, look at all angles of everything so you can tell your next couple of moves ahead. Like in chess. When you play a chess game, how do you play a chess game? When you're going to make your move, you go, if I move here, then their possible moves are this, this, and this. So what would my next move be, too? Like, you want to think about what the possibilities and consequences are for you to place your player where you are. So that's how you think of shit in life, too. You're like, okay, so if I like Clarice, we bought Clarice, and I was like, can I still pay all of our bills if I paid for Clarice? And then I forgot about the Yukon having to... We had to pay for the Yukon. I was like...
If you'd remembered, would you still bought her for me?
Most likely.
Yeah?
Yeah. We'll get it figured out. Not a big deal.
I think at that point, you were like, I can't tell her no now.
But it was just one of those things that, like, if you look at every way that your scenario could go, based on what you're doing.
See, this is why I have you, because I'm not good at that. I'm more of a, ooh, let's do this, and I just go do it.
Right.
I need you to kind of be like, hey, hold up, let's plan this out just a smidge better, please.
Well, like, a lot of people have asked me how we're planning on getting rid of reptiles. Like, once we start having a lot of reptiles and stuff, how are we going to get rid of them in a decent time, and so we're not feeding everything and losing all of our profit by feeding? And I was like, well, first off, they have to be a certain age to be able to sell to start with.
Right.
I was like, there is some stuff that will be around for months and months that we just need to anticipate what we're going to do for them.
Right.
And they're like, I got you. I was like, but like, for the most part, a lot of stuff will be sold off within the first couple of months of us trying to sell it.
Right.
And they were like, how do you know that? I'm like, because there's expos, like there's a Rochester Expo every couple of months. There's a Buffalo Expo every couple of months. Erie has an expo every month. Pittsburgh has an expo every month. I was like, it's a lot of traveling, but when you're traveling to, the gas costs you maybe $100 for the day, and it costs you your time, and you're able to make a couple $1,000s because you have 20 animals to sell.
Yep.
If you sell a couple $1,000 worth of animals, 5, 10, 8 animals that you have out of the 20, then it's well worth it. First off, you're cleaning space in your house or wherever you have your shit, and you're making a profit off of that animal.
And that gas is just a tax write-off too.
Right. And they're like, well, what if you don't sell everything that way? I'm like, and then you have Morph Market. I was like, it's just like when we decide to put stuff on Morph Market, we're going to decide stuff that's going to Morph Market and stuff that's going to expos.
Yeah, because
I was like, because the more higher end stuff will go to Morph Market because, well, most of them people are breeders and different shit that buy off of those. I was like, and then, I mean, there's a lot of people just buy just to have too,
right,
off of there, but like at expos, that's when you have like your lower stuff, like your lower name stuff that goes to expos because people buy them for cash.
People buy their pets there.
Yeah, buy them for cash there. And usually it's more for pet stuff, not for like breeding trade.
Right. Right.
I mean, there is some expensive animals there. Don't get me wrong, there is.
People seem to they'll bring like a couple expensive ones or a few of them. But the majority of what they have is their lower end stuff that is easier to get rid of.
Like anything that we get that's a normal or a single or even a double gene when we were getting 4 and 5 genes otherwise. I mean,
right.
The 4 and 5 gene otherwise, depends on what it is, In our, like a generation from right now, we have the possibility of having a leopard, lesser, Enchi, clown, like all of them in one batch together.
Oh, I know.
In just one set of babies from now.
It's going to be crazy.
If we get one male with a leopard if we get, it would be Enchi, a pastel Enchi clown from a blade too on that from one side. And on the other, we have a possible clown blade, lesser granite. And you put those together, I mean, you're going to have crazy, one male from one side and one female from the other side. That's going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It's going
to be absolutely intense.
It will be. And those will go on Morph Market. I mean, those will probably be $2,500 babies,
right.
Because they have 5 genes with clown in them and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we're not going to get that at an expo.
No.
You're lucky you get $1,000 out of an expo.
Right.
On one animal. A lot of the higher stuff that people have that they take, though, they trade. I figured out that they trade with each other on their bigger name stuff.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, that's for sure a thing.
Right?
You know, we could trade with people. For sure. Just like we've told our friend Jeff that when we get a Super Zeb, that he has the first dibs on a Super Zeb after we get to keep one.
Yeah. He doesn't get first dibs on it. I'm just taking it to the expo and be like, here you go. That's yours. You know what I mean?
Right. But you know what I mean? Like he'll be the first person we allow to buy a Super Zebra, excluding our own Super Zebra we keep.
Right.
I don't care if we keep a male or a female. At that point in time, we're going to need another male or two at least.
Yeah.
For other breeding projects as well.
100%. I think having a male would be beneficial because we would have more options as to what we could put the zebra into.
Right.
And it would be easier to choose to not. Like if there was a year we're like, okay, we're not going to do zebras this year we're going to do this. And give him a year off or whatever. We could do that. I don't know if that'll ever be a thing, but it's easier to do if you have a male.
Well, the nice thing about it being a super zebra, that all of his offspring would be zebra.
Yes. All of
so, them. Like, if zebra's hot for sale and stuff, like, right now it's definitely a big thing.
It is. A lot of
like,
people like the
they
zebras.
sell very fast. So, if we wanted to make sure we were going to sell fast and we wanted a decent price, because, I mean, zebras anywhere from usually 300 and up. If it has the Xanthic with it, they're anywhere from 600 to 800.
Yeah.
On an average right now. And that's probably on the low side up here in the next 3 to 5 years.
Right.
Because there's only more and more people getting into the shit.
Right.
Like when you were a kid, zebras weren't an animal that you could get as in the pet trade probably very well. And then nowadays, like, there's, 100 of them up at a time damn near.
Right.
I mean, as a whole, coastal, or, like, there's probably about 100 carpets up at once of all the different species.
Yeah.
But there's probably like 20 to 30 coastals half the time that I've seen. And there's even more jungle.
I mean, the last several expos, we've seen maybe 30 carpets of any species.
Which, I mean, that's more than even when we started at the beginning of last year, even, by quite a bit. I mean, people are just...
jungles.
Huh?
Most of them are jungles. Jeff is usually the only one with coastals.
There's one other guy that has coastals.
He'll have coastals sometimes.
Right.
Not always. Or he'll have coastal crosses.
Right.
Coastal jungles or coastal IJs. He'll have a mixture. But Jeff is the only one that consistently has coastals.
Right. And not even every time, even at Jeff's.
Yeah, sometimes he does.
I mean, there's a couple of months. But I mean, if we get in with that place at Silver Creek, too, they said that nobody has coastals around Buffalo.
Right.
So, like, we could even sell off some of them to them.
Oh, yeah.
Even as a pet shop.
Because we'll end up with a lot of normals because of Mocha. And even regular Jags, you could sell them off at an expo real quick. Because they're gorgeous.
But, like, I think that we could really do well, like, in the Buffalo market with the coastals, you know.
I think so, too.
And, I mean, I have not seen very many Jags at all in Erie.
The only one I've seen have them is Jeff.
And he's had maybe 3 or 4 Jags is all I've seen. Usually he has a red stripe.
Not red stripe, just the red.
A red? Okay. And then he has the striped. There's a striped one. A striped jean.
Yeah, the tiger. He'll have it, or no, just the regular striped. Yeah, he'll have the striped one once in a while. He'll have some normals. That's where Mocha came from, was from Jeff.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to
No, you're fine. It's okay. But, I think that we'll definitely do good with the coastals in our area, honestly.
So.
And I think that, like, in the future, I mean, we could look in to see what we'd have to do to be a person at Tinley. You know, and I mean, if coastals really aren't a thing there, we could really put coastals on the map.
Right? I love
If we did go to Tinley, though, that would be like when we would take like all of our Xanthics we're selling, all of our like insane shit. Because let's be honest, you want your best of your best going there.
Our Robert and Terry babies. And, yeah. I can't. Honestly, eventually, I'd love to have an Xanthic Super Z, male and a female. Eventually. But, you know.
Xanthic Super Zeeb.
Yeah.
Not just a Super Zeeb overall, an Xanthic Super Zeeb.
No, I told you, I want the all-black carpet python. That is an Xanthic Super Z. That is what I'm shooting for.
Now, is it yellow of sorts if it's not an Xanthic? Or is it just like dark
gold.
Gray? They're gold?
They're gold. Alright, I'll show you. They're beautiful. They really are. But an all-black carpet python is just mind-blowing to me.
We're a solid, like, 8 years from that. 7, 8 years. I know, it sounds crazy saying 7 or 8 years, but we're about 7, 8 years from that, at least.
Okay, so this is... once this loads and it's not grainy, hold on. But this is the Super Zeeb. They're all gold. It's still grainy. It's being slow as fuck.
Right.
There's a better photo. Maybe that one will show up.
Real plain looking. Ooh, that is pretty cool looking. It's kind of like when you hit it with light, it changes different color. It's light in the light and dark in the dark.
I mean, I'm not opposed to keeping one without the Xanthic, but
right.
I need the Xanthic in there. That's my goal. That's what I need. Okay, Super Zebra.
It would be a pretty gnarly snake. That'd be almost like a black lip that doesn't, or a white lip that doesn't have a white lip.
I can't find a whole lot of good pictures of them because there's not a lot of them. But there's a headshot of one.
I gotcha. So, like, it's got, like, a really black spot on its head and the rest of it's... That's a really cool looking snake. I can't really tell exactly what it says because it doesn't say, but it's cool looking.
I think that's what that is, but I think there's something else in there with it. I don't think it's just a straight...
Either that or else it's got some sort of... what's that word? Starts with P. Paradox, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of pictures of Xanthic ones because they're not... It's a recessive gene. And a super. So, like...
It's 4 genes.
It's definitely not the easiest combination to hit.
Right, it's kind of like Justin Cobley hit that Desert Ghost. It's an Xanthic Desert Ghost clown, is what it is.
So...
Which is 3 recessives.
I have picked out a female carpet python that I will have someday, like after we have our Super Zebra.
Yeah.
To go with it. It's an all-white carpet python.
Okay.
It's a Moonglow carpet python. It is albino, hypo, and Xanthic all together.
Huh.
And it's an all-white snake.
I've never heard of a Moonglow.
Oh my god, they're beautiful. But it'd be cool because we'd have one white and one black lid.
Right.
So, it'd be neat as fuck.
Right. It wouldn't pass over the Moonglow, though, because we don't have anything albino.
No, they would all be het for the albino. But...
I mean, we could go one generation out.
Yeah.
And then we could prove it out of all the males.
Right.
By figuring it out.
I really would like to do that. And, I mean, getting a Moonglow is expensive. It's like a $2,500 steak.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's not something I'm looking to get for quite some time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like I just said, it's going to take probably 7 years for us to be able to get the Super Zeebs. I know,
because I got to wait till Pear Bear and Robert are old enough, and then...
She's got 3 more seasons before, or 3 more years before she's allowed to breed. So,
and then her baby.
At spring of 2024, or 2025, the spring of 2025, we'll be able to have our first litter with her.
Clutch.
Clutch.
Yeah.
You know what I meant. I'm a little high. Speaking of high, we still have a third bowl to smoke, and we're getting pretty close here.
But we,
oh my gosh.
And then we have to raise up that baby.
For 4 years.
Probably when we have that baby is when I'll start working on getting a moon glow baby so that they hit breeding age right about the same time. Or the season before.
You're thinking the wrong baby.
Why?
Because you want the baby from that one. That's going to be the super.
Yeah, no, I said probably the baby from like Terry and the zebra jag. To make the super zebra, the one that's going to be when that one is born.
Yeah.
In like 7 years is when I'll start looking for.
I was going to say, I thought you meant like the middle one. I'm like, this is the middle baby thing. That's not going to work.
No. That's that when the other one is the super zebra is here.
Right.
The exotic super zebra. I'm excited for it.
Now you going to put the jaguar in it too? Or are you going to try to exclude the jaguar from it?
I don't know what it'll look like with it. I guess it's going to depend, and I'll have to decide when the time comes. You know what I mean?
Well, it would come when Terry and Robert have babies.
Oh, yeah.
You have to decide what you're keeping
the
for
zebra
that.
jag in it. Yeah, because we're keeping an exotic jag and an exotic zebra jag. Is what we were keeping out of the.
I know. Class. Oh, an exotic jag. We're keeping that because, well, Odd has to have that.
Yeah, Bowles showed it to him because I wanted to keep it. He was like, "We can't keep two," and I'm like, "No, listen to me." So I showed it to him. He's like, "Oh my god!"
Like
I
absolutely love Robert's look. I really do. He's absolutely phenomenal looking, and I'm super excited for when he's an adult.
Oh,
I'm super excited for when we have an exanthic jag because that's going to be insane.
Because carpets are reverse for most steaks. The older they get, the prettier they get.
They just get richer colors.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
They're kind of ugly ducklings with their babies. And the older they get, the prettier they get.
Unlike ball pythons that get more and more dull as they get older. Sometimes. That guy that said that his was 33 years old the other day, it looked like it was pretty dark still.
Yeah?
Yeah. But for the most part, ball pythons usually fade out.
They do fade out quite a bit. But that's okay. But regardless, like, carpets are an obsession of mine, and they need huge houses.
Right? A 4x4x2.
At a minimum. Coastals need... Remember we found... Because they get so fucking big, we even talked about doing one, like, Clarice's size for those. But those are for ones that get that big that find it
Females.
necessary. Yeah,
Females
because males usually don't get quite that big, and they should be good. But
they should be good in the 4x4x2. They need a 72x48x24.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what we were talking about the other day. It was 72 tall by 48 wide and 2 feet deep. Yeah. Which is just an extra 2 feet on top of the 4x4x2.
I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it's going to be...
That's why I need our building. Because I need room for some carpets.
You shall have to be patient for a short bit.
I'm trying really hard.
You have to think, it's going to be, 3.5 years before we even have a clutch.
I know.
Because, Terry is 1.5 years old right now. So she needs at least 2.5 years to mature. And then usually you don't start off by having a fall clutch.
Right.
And Robert would be just 3 years old at that point.
Right.
So you might as well just wait until the spring of the next year.
Right.
Which then she'll be 4.5. And Robert will be 3.5.
Right.
So, there's that much time before we're even going to... we are definitely going to have the 4x2x2s by then for those two. And Mocha for sure.
Yeah.
But if we have to by that time, we'll figure out whatever we have to figure out. And that's what we always do.
Yep.
But we will hopefully have the garage built by then. Made that way for us by 4 years, 3.5 years.
Right.
You have to think we'll be breeding Beardies by 2.5 years by then.
And gargoyles.
In Gargs for 3 years by then. It'd be about 3 years when we have our first clutch.
Yeah, because...
Pilot. There's a lot going on, for sure. With us for everything with that. Breeding and animals and...
I feel like it's slow going right now. Like right now we're just biding our time and grinding and doing the hard work. And then it's going to go from being like that to a complete change very quickly.
Well, everyone's going to be breeding within like... I mean, excluding we're going to buy Gargs this year and they're going to be breeding by next year. That's just how it is with Gargs. They're kind of like dogs. They really don't have to have a certain age to them. They just have to be a decent size. And they're able to be... They're going to have the eggs whether or not they're fertilized or not.
I got you.
It's as soon as they get to be 25 grams.
I got you.
So as soon as that hits. The problem with Gargs is they only live to be like 10 years old at the max. That's a maximum. They usually are between 6 and 8 years old, or age.
I got you.
Usually.
Oh.
But I mean, they're still really cool and really gnarly.
They're tiny tree alligators. They're fucking gnarly little things.
Right.
I like them. And they can be friendly. Friendly tree alligators.
Oh, for sure.
Like, how can you not?
Once you train them to hang out, they love to hang out. The ones you have to watch out for is the Cresties because they like to jump off of shit.
Once they're used to you, they don't do that shit as bad.
They're notorious, though, for, like, seeing something like, whee!
Okay, well, it can't be any worse than Jackson, okay? Because that little bastard yeets off of everything. If I have him, like, roaming a little bit and I have the leash on him, he will fucking launch himself off of shit and give zero fucks about it.
Right.
He always aims for my garbage can like a fool.
It's the unknown. The big black unknown.
Yeah. He'll jump off my desk into my garbage can. And I'll move my garbage can. And then he aims for it there instead. I'm like, you're a little shithead.
Whatever floats your boat, I guess.
I've gotten pretty good at being able to tell when he's going to do it. Catching him.
Right.
God, he's a little shithead.
Well, that being said, it's about that time.
Yeah?
Lots of chit-chatting about reptiles tonight.
Yeah.
Full night. Nobody to rein in the insanity of it.
No? I don't know where the fuck he is.
So, all right. Have a good night, guys. All right. So, if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to share, like, and subscribe to our YouTube and whatever you're on, Spotify. Yeah.
Wherever the hell you are.
We don't
Just
know.
because as much as we could get out there, the better it is for us, you know. And I mean, obviously, it shows that you guys like it, and we appreciate seeing that you guys like it. So
yes,
we would
it makes
just
us
love
smile. It really does.
Yeah,
love to see that
love
sub.
Seeing everything, you know, we're gonna get everything here rolling here soon.
So on that set, I also want to say that we have our episode comes out every Friday night. Usually, hopefully, we like to get out about 4:20. Depending on work schedules, it doesn't always work out that way.
But we try.
But so you can hear the Ganja People every Friday night after 4:30-ish, somewhere in the afternoon, evening time.
Yep.
Every single week.
All right.
On that note, we're going to say we're out. So just remember, don't let your meatloaf.
Keep it creative.
Keep it dank, Ganja Gang.
Toodaloo, motherfuckers.